लो जी आज मेरे साथ वो शख्स हैं जो इस वक्त पूरी दुनिया के लिए कहते हैं ना कि मतलब एक प्रेरणा बन चुके हैं. आई एम जॉइंड बाय द ऑस्ट्रेलियन कैप्टन पैट कमिंस हु इंसिडेंटली is the only captain in the history of the world to win two ICC titles in just 1 year, 2023. And while Pat will take us through the journey that the Australian team had last year, let me also tell you that you can watch all the scenes and behind the scenes and the kind of preparation that must have gone into making this Australian team a great Australian team in the Prime Videos documentary series Test Season 3, which launches now. Pat, am I correct to say that you're the only captain in the world to ever have won two ICC titles in just one calendar year?
Uh, I'm not sure. It sounds right. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of
It
it
is right.
till you mentioned it, but yeah, I'd imagine that's probably correct, which is cool.
And very infectious smile you have on that, Pat. Normally, captains winning two ICC titles in just 1 year aren't as modest as you are.
Yeah, well, I hadn't really thought of it before, but yeah, it was an amazing year. The boys were fantastic. Yeah, it's a year that we're going to look back on for a long, long time with a smile on my face. It doesn't get much better than that.
Pat, it wasn't really the best of starts for you when you became the captain. And there's this saying that normally fast bowlers do not make good captains. We've seen Imran Khan before. We've seen a few others, but not too many.
Yeah, it's just one of those things in cricket. It's a quirk. It's always just really been batters who have been captains. The previous captain to me was Tim Payne, who was a wicket keeper, which is also quite rare. So yeah, I'd had some great kind of fast bowling captains over the years, just for a game here and there, particularly in state cricket. So thought there was no reason why just because you got a certain role in the team doesn't mean you can't captain.
Pat, two ICC titles in a year. Obviously, we're going to watch Test Season 3 and look at how you guys had prepared for that. But the World Test Championship final and then the World Cup final. I won't ask you which is the bigger one. Obviously, two formats closer to everybody's heart. But which one was the more difficult one?
Uh More difficult. I'd say the ODI World Cup. You've got to basically beat every other team. We're playing Indian conditions, which are quite foreign to us in Australia. We had injuries. We had injuries to deal with, form to deal with along the way. So there's lots of kind of things that had to come together, and fortunately, they all came together for the final. And I think that's what makes it so much, so satisfying as well. Is it's not easy.
Well, while in India, we've been waiting for 11 years now for another ICC title. Pat, what is so unique about Australian cricket? I mean, is it that in India we attach too much of significance to the ICC titles, or is it the other way around? I mean, Australia know how to win ICC titles.
Look, I don't know really. A lot of it comes down to luck at certain moments as well. Like I think that you can't discount that at different times, but hard to say. We always try and find that balance between depressurizing a final, but at the same time, kind of acknowledging that you're going to look back in this final for a long time in your life and make sure that you played the way that you wanted to play for that final. So, yeah, we've had a bit of success, I think, as well. Once you've been in a couple of finals and done well, that carries on. You take that confidence into the next one. And fortunately, we've had a group of players that have had a bit of experience over the years and won a few titles.
Well, I remember Steve was saying once to me in an interview many years ago when he was the captain of the Australian team. Pat, he said captaincy leadership has a shelf life of 4 to 5 years, maximum 6, and that is when captains start running out of ideas. You are growing on the job. Already two ICC titles, drawing the Ashes series last year in England. Are you improving day by day if you were to look at your leadership skills?
I'd be worried if I wasn't. Each day you learn a little bit more. Your experience grows. Your intuition gets better. You understand the people around you a little bit better. So I hope it does get better. I would agree though, there is a shelf life. I think everyone gets tired of hearing the same message over and over again, and you need to refresh that at different times. But yeah, at the moment it's all going pretty well.
There's another ICC tournament coming up, Pat, next month. And Australia obviously would be the firm favorites there as well.
Not sure we're favourites. I think we're one of the better sides. We've got pretty good form coming in. We've got some really experienced players, and it's a pretty similar squad to the guys who won the title, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So, confident, but it's T20 cricket. Anything can happen. So we'll give it our best crack.
Pat, if you could, please take us through the last year. January 1st till 31st December, 2 ICC titles, the Ashes. How did the team start and how did the team progress till the end of the year?
Look, I think as a whole, it was obviously going to be a big year for, particularly both sides, the ODI side and the Test side. But I think we got more and more sure of the style that we wanted to play and what was going to bring us success. We played a Test series in India, which we were close, but some key moments we weren't quite up for it. And to be honest, sometimes similar in the Ashes, there was some key moments that we would have loved to kind of have again that feel like we probably could have done a little bit better. Unfortunately, as cricketers, you tend to remember those moments that you wish that you could have done better, as opposed to the 100 things that did go right. But yeah, the team just kept growing, and I think overall was really consistent in the way they presented themselves, which I think we should be really proud of.
Pat, you've been, before you became the captain, you've been part of the Australian teams, great Australian teams. Where would you place this bunch in the last 20 odd years?
Oh, it's probably not for me to say. It's probably for other people to sit around and have a coffee or a beer and talk about. But I think we've ticked off almost everything that you'd hope for. Most of the guys have won, World Test Championship now, multiple World Cups. We've all really, really lucky with the careers that we've had. So I'll let others decide that, but really happy with how the group's been.
When you went back to Australia, Pat, after winning the World Cup, and there weren't too many people at the airport. I mean, we were surprised here. In fact, we were shocked here in India.
Yeah, that's Australia for you. It's great. It's peaceful. It is a little bit different because everyone flies off to different states. We didn't have one kind of big celebration upon arrival back into Australia, but I can tell you that everyone was buzzing. That every time we went out in the streets or out for a coffee or whatever for the next couple of weeks, everyone was absolutely buzzing about that World Cup final, as were we players. So it might not be the streets lined like maybe you'd get over here if India won, but I can tell you that a lot of fans were very happy.
Well, last question, Pat. You're the captain of Hyderabad, and the way that Hyderabad have been playing, I mean, credit goes to you. If you win the IPL, should we consider a bronze statue of Pat Cummins outside the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad or the Chepauk in Chennai? That's the only thing that is left.
I don't know about that. I think the way that we didn't play our best game at the Narendra Modi Stadium the other day, so maybe not there. But
Chepauk.
no, I'll let some local Indian cricketers take the statues.
Thank you so much, Pat. Good luck, not just for the IPL, but for the World Cup as well. And while we all will try and catch the action on Prime Video season 3 test, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. Cheers.